Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Happy to be here. And happy to join you guys all the way from Mexico City. In case you haven't heard, there is a global bars class happening out here in Mexico City. And of course, many of you are probably going to join us online. And with this topic, it's so interesting. I'm so grateful for these calls that we get to put out. In this one, someone want to remind me the title, Intimacy Unveiled. The power, I'm trying to pull it up just to make sure that I get it correct. Do you want to say it, Cassie? Do you have it in front of you? The power of you and your body. Thank you. There it is. Ah, in the midst of a city, can you still have intimacy with your body? In the midst of the chaos, wherever you're at, and anything else going on with and around your family, work, can you still have that intimacy with you? So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sylvia Puentes, and I'm an Access Consciousness Facilitator. And I've been a facilitator for many years, and I actually first came across the Access tools in 2010. So I've been playing with these tools for 14 years. And I got to tell you, I was just talking to a friend, and I was like, they still have this potency to them. So the early tools, who does it belong to? Light and heavy. So if you've been around Access and the tools for a long time, allow yourself to explore the new tools as well, or the tools as if they were new again. Because as we begin to change, there's new spaces that open up. In this conversation about intimacy and the power of our bodies, that has a lot to do with beginning to allow yourself to explore something maybe that you thought you had, but maybe in a way that you're perhaps now ready to receive. So with all that said, I'm just kind of allowing myself to arrive, and I'm going to invite all of us to a little exercise that I really enjoy for those moments where you feel like you're out of your body and everything's running fast. If you guys would like to join me, you can put your hands anywhere. I like to put them on my chest. Some people like to put them on their face. So wherever that is for you. And then you can close your eyes if you'd like. If you're driving, I don't recommend it. And just allow yourself to feel your hand on your body. Yeah. And your body on your hand. Beautiful. And notice how the energy has already changed. Okay. And now if you can feel your bottom, wherever you're sitting, for me, it's here, this sofa here. So it's like, okay, my bottom on the sofa and the sofa with my bottom, my butt, my sweet butt. And now my feet. So feel your feet touching the ground or whatever they're touching. I have a little carpet underneath my feet. So perceiving and feeling that and allowing my feet to touch the carpet. And now the carpet touching my feet. Yeah. And now open your eyes. If you'd like, you can keep them closed too. But do you guys notice the shift in the energy already? Like, what if it could be that simple to all of a sudden, one, acknowledge that we have a body, and two, to allow ourselves not to get into the craziness of everything that's around us and still have the space of us and our body. Now, one of the things here with the intimacy part, it's so interesting because I, like probably many others, grew up not really valuing my body. It was kind of like, it's this thing that kind of just gets dragged along and sometimes doesn't behave the way I would like it to. It's not feeling well. Why are you doing this? And beginning to explore more this space of intimacy. So in Access, we talk about 5 elements of intimacy: honor, trust, gratitude, vulnerability, and allowance. And in that space, even before I got to explore those 5 elements of intimacy, there was this moment where I got, like, when people would say, oh, do you receive? And every time people would talk about receiving, I always saw it as my body is receiving. It receives the sun. Yes, I receive. It receives, a bubble bath or whatever. It receives someone's smile and it will receive someone's intensity, but it was my body as the receptor, right? Boom, boom. But I was gifted this question, and it was, Sylvia, do you receive your body? And I was like, huh? What do you mean? It literally was like, what are you talking about? Isn't my body the receptor and its job is to receive everything? But me, you, the being, do you receive your body? And so I gave it a little space, and it was like, oh, this. I literally looked down and I'm like, oh, me receiving this. So how many people are walking around the planet or even on this call where you're actually not really acknowledging that you even have a body? And this is like, we haven't been taught. It was like, what is my body going to do? It's going to go to bed. It's going to go run. It's going to go eat. It's going to do this or that. But now that sense of like, oh, receiving my body. And it wasn't until that moment that I could actually begin to explore the 5 elements of intimacy. Because I was not even acknowledging, yeah, ay, déjela, por favor, gracias. But up until that moment, it's like there was no room to explore the 5 elements of intimacy with my body. There was that sense of like, oh, I get to have now this communion and be aware of what it might enjoy, what it might be asking for. Like, so that space. So for me, part of, why perhaps we created this call is to invite you guys all to maybe have a few more tools, questions to take away from today's call, and also to invite you to the incredible, incredible, incredible tools of Access Consciousness that are sometimes so simple that you think, how is it possible it can create so much change? And at the same time, the gift of the 3-day body class, the gift of the body processes, the gift of the Access bars, it invites you to receive. And the 3-day body class really invites you to receive your body. And imagine it just like any other friend. Like if you like welcome them in, offer them some tea, like you have this energy with your receiving them and acknowledging them. There's now a space where your body can gift you and you can gift your body, unlike what we ever thought was possible. So that's my opening to this beautiful topic of bodies and receiving and intimacy and the power and the gift that our bodies can be. And I have many stories that I really enjoy sharing because they still remind me of the gift of our bodies, the gift that we're not realizing they can be such a gift. One that I have that still blows me away. And I go, wow, what else is my body capable of? And it's one that I shared on another call I did this week about negotiations. I was in a negotiation with a contract that was quite, way more than I thought. And should I just tell the story now? Do you guys want to hear it? Because you would never expect. So one of the things that, oftentimes when you think about business, right, you try to figure things out, you're planning things, either if you're going to do a presentation or if you're going to negotiate, you're like, okay, what's my plan? What's the strategy here? So I had, there was an event going on, and part of the tech, all the tech stuff that we rent, when I first spoke to the gentleman with our director of the tech team, we thought when we were looking at the cost that it was 1 day. Well, no, I'm sorry. We thought it was for the full event, but it turned out it was daily. So at the end, I get the contract and it's $28,000. And in that moment, I thought, oh shit, like, oh no. And so, I messaged our director and I said, hey, I just got this contract. Well, like we realized that was not the number we thought. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what I can do. And I had put off the call. And it's finally like, okay, now. And this is the other gift. If you do not judge you, your body will contribute of when to take action on things. So this one with this particular call is like, finally, it was the time to call. So I called the gentleman. We had already introduced ourselves, so we know who we were. And I said, I made a big mistake. This is way beyond my budget. And then he's all like, oh, he goes, well, let me see what I can do. I can open up my computer right now. And then he messaged and he goes, where do you live? Because this was for an event in New York. So where do you live? I'm all, Northern California. And he's all, I'm like next town over from where you live. No, no way. So there was already this energy of like, wow, you're right here, you know? So as he's pulling out his computer and he's sharing this, all of a sudden I can feel my body start to bubble up. Now, if anybody knows me, there's this flirtatious energy that I be quite often. And so I'm on the phone and there's this energy bubbling up within me. So I'm on the phone and going, oh my gosh, like if I would have been in person, I would have thought, oh my God, I'm flirting because it's this real playful, bubbly energy. Well, the second thing that I perceived as we're continuing to talk was shut up. Literally, it was like, shut up. And I'm all, okay. And so I actually, for the first time, listened. So I didn't say a whole lot and I could feel my body doing something. I don't know what. So the gentleman begins on his computer. He's all like, okay, well, I can take off a little something here. I can take off this. I can take off that. And we're, you know, and I'm making kind of small talk, nothing about what he's offering me. And then all of a sudden, you know, he gets to the end and he goes, oh, you know, here at the end, I'll reduce it, you know, a little more. I'm all, okay, I'm not adding things up. So I'm just like, I'm thinking I'll be happy if it's like $12,000. That would be like, wow. Guess what it was at the end? $6,000 was the total from 28. So I share that story because even for me was like, okay, my body, I know was contributing. You know, I was not in person. This was over the phone, allowing my body to contribute and allowing myself to get out of the way, allowed my body to contribute whatever it could. I wouldn't even have asked for 6,000 from here. No way. I wouldn't have. 12,000 was pushing it in my world, right? So then I'm all like, wow. So, you know, got off the phone. I was super delighted. Had an incredible event. And then I'm left with, wow, what else can my body contribute that I haven't allowed it to contribute because I'm getting in the way with everything in my head? Everything I think I need to say, I need to do. Okay, so everything that is and everything that brings up for all of you, because yeah, so everything that is, well, you destroy and uncreate it. And all the bases that we have that make us think that we somehow need to control everything, including our body, that keeps us from receiving the magic and the power and the gift our body can be and contribute. Well, you all destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povets, bases, and beyonds. So for those of you that may be on or listening to the recording that have no idea what I just rattled off, that's called the clearing statement. And someone maybe can put it here in the chat, but you can find more information on the website, theclearingstatement.com. But basically, it's getting to the root of all of that stuff that's there that we've created as all the beliefs, points of views that we think is so true that make everything so real. And it starts to just dissipate and clear that so that you can get to more what's true for you. So anyways, I love telling that story because I couldn't have made that one up. I lived it. I'm curious, like, what else is my body capable of? So, you know, if you could right now ask yourself, how much gratitude, what percentage comes up? How much gratitude do you have for your body right now? Right now. You know, I have a friend I was talking with, she's on this call, and she wasn't feeling well. It's like, you know, so often when we're not feeling well, it's like, I'm not grateful for my body. It's keeping me in bed. I've been vomiting. Like, why would I be grateful? But how grateful are you for your body right now? 5%, 20%? Yeah. And really, this is for you just to have the clarity for you. It's not for anyone else. It's like, how grateful am I? And you might be surprised. You haven't even asked yourself. So go truth. How grateful am I for my body right now? 50% maybe? And if it's less, you're not wrong. So everything that is, yeah, and everything that brings up for all of us, everywhere we haven't even considered being grateful for our body. Yeah, well, we destroy and uncreate all of that times the godzillion. Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pan pak, all nine shorts, boys, povats, bases, and beyonds. Amazing. So yeah, the numbers here in the chat, 20, 30, 60, and then someone goes, oops. I'm assuming she might be one that I've been sick. Why would I even consider being grateful for my body? Right? So this is the exploration. If someone can write those in the chat, but the 5 elements of intimacy. Yeah, it's that friend, me. Yeah, yes, you are one of the friends. Michelle is asking, yes. So what questions do you guys have? Do you get the gift and the power of your body? Do you have that level of intimacy? Are you even, you're on this call, so are you asking for that? And if you are, what are you asking for? Or are you waiting to find out what having those elements of intimacy with yourself would actually create to then ask for it and then receive it? Yeah, these 5 elements of intimacy are a key to so much. And one of the things that I'm really getting with the 3-day body class, as you're receiving and exchanging body processes, you're gifting and receiving throughout the 3 days, these are the 5 elements of intimacies that begin to be more present with you, with your body, in a way that's different and new. Yes, Cassie, did you have your hand up? Go for it.
Yeah. Can you go a little bit more into, because I hear someone say, I have friends that have had like the last couple of years body stuff, like pain, headaches. And what I'm noticing is when something's like over a long period of time, they're building resentment of having a body. They're like all these walls and things. So I would love for you to explore that and then how to bring intimacy into that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, we've been in, if you're, at all familiar with Access Consciousness, you may be aware of the clearing statement just recently changed. We've been talking about bases and I get that part of what you're asking for has to do with really those bases, that foundation, those beliefs of what we use to create with our bodies or not acknowledge we create with our bodies. So truth, how many of you, or ask yourself, so truth, do you have the point of view that your body is your friend or your foe? Which is lighter? Not right or wrong. Is your body your friend or your foe? So is it gonna come out and get you if you don't treat it well? Like, is it gonna create vengeance and seek revenge? Yeah. Or do you really see it as a friend? And I would say that would be the beginning, because if we see it like it has something against us, then, see, there it goes again. It's got me with all these aches, dumb body. Like, what the heck are you doing? So you start to, like you said, that resentment, like, what the fuck? Right? But if you actually you chose to be embodied, you actually chose to come as the infinite being you are and go, I'm going to take on a body. And guess what? I know it sounds crazy, but you actually chose the body you have. So you chose to be embodied, you chose the body you have, and it starts to show you things. It starts to be a certain way. What question can you be with your body? Right? So I often have many stories, because for me, it's some of those stories that crack open part of this. And so if your body is having certain things come up, the willingness to go, okay, if my body wasn't wrong, if I wasn't wrong, what is my body asking or letting me know? What am I aware of? What is my body contributing to my right now? What is it aware of right now? Because you guys have probably all experienced, you go into a room and you're like, whoa, that's your body. Your body feels different energies. You as an infinite being sense. So what does your body gift you? I think about sometimes some people, you know, where there was a plane crash or an accident, and there's certain people that say, wow, I was going to get on the freeway. And then all of a sudden I was like, nope, I got off. I don't know why, but you know, there's this sense like I got to get off. Or people that, you know, I think about just different situations around the world, earthquakes and different things are like, nope, my body got sick and I stayed home that day, didn't go to the office, wasn't there for that earthquake or explosion, whatever. It's like, was your body gifting you something by making you sick and nauseous that day that you didn't go to work? So you start to begin to question, it's like, okay, if my body was my friend and this energy or this ache or whatever's coming up, then there's more freedom to go, what's going on? So there's 4 incredible questions, and maybe we can write them in the chat here for you. Anytime anything comes up, so if you are going through different intensities with your body and have for a long time, first of all, I would recommend destroy and uncreate everything you've already decided it was. Because we've already, see, my mother had this, I have it, or see, that's because I ate that. So those are all the conclusions and decisions you already have, and you've made them real and you've attached them. So now we're going to clear those and go, okay, so everything I've decided, all what we call the DJCCs, all the decisions, judgments, conclusions, rejections that I have about anything to do with this, I destroy and uncreate them all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, 12 red spaces and beyonds. Now there's kind of like a more of a space to ask the question. So now you can ask the next 4 questions. And here's just a little side note. When you ask the questions, ask them by giving yourself the space to receive the energy of the question when you ask it. There might not be anything cognitively at the moment, but energetically, when you ask a question, the universe is moving things to give you an awareness or the information you're asking for. So now when you ask these 4 questions, the first one, okay, if there's something going on with your body right now, start to get present with whatever that may be. In truth, what is this? I've decided, okay, puck and pop everything I decided. Okay, truth, what is this? Like beyond what I've imagined it was. Okay, what is this? Oh, okay. What can I do with it? Okay, there might be something else there. Now, this one is a yes or no question. Truth, can I change it? Do you get a yes? Do you get a no? If you get a no, it might just be that in that moment, it's not for changing anything. Okay. You can always ask later. If you get a yes, then if it's a yes, how do I change it? And then again, you may allow yourself to receive maybe an energy there. There may, in it, nothing may seem to show up in the moment, but allow the questions to just kind of go out into the world and see what shows up for you. But you're asking to receive something beyond what you've concluded and decided. And I have known people, I remember this sweet man. I had a class, I think I was out in Ecuador years ago. And he was the husband of the space we were using, of the, you know, the woman was in the class, but he wasn't. And, well, you know, I invited him to join us. No, I'm going to stay off on the side. But he was listening every time he'd pass by. So he went off the afternoon. The next day he came back. He's all, Sylvia, those questions worked. I'm all, what do you mean? I was driving. There was all this traffic. I started to feel this pain in my back. And I thought, all right, let me try these questions. He asked all 4 questions. What is this? What do I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how do I change it? And he goes, and it disappeared. I'm all like, wow, cool. You know, so the other part with the gift of our bodies and questions, are you willing to have these things change with your body that quickly without really having a scientific proof of how that happened? Because that's the other thing that's available for us, is the willingness to go on beyond what we've decided scientifically and all sorts of things that can actually allow for the magic of the change. So I don't know, Cassie, if that helps, but that sense of not going to the wrongness and really allowing yourself to open up to what gift is this? What is your body gifting you? What awareness do you have? Yeah. cool. There's a question here in Spanish. He estado teniendo intensidades, cansancio y agotamiento en mi cuerpo y sobre todo en mis ojos durante días y requiero dormir. ¿Podemos ver esto? She goes, I've had these intensities. I've been tired and just, yeah, with my body and for several days. And, you know, my eyes have been tired and I've been sleepy. Can we look at this? So thank you, Gabriela, for asking. So again, notice all those things. The first thing that she said, I've been having. So when you go, oh, I'm tired, or when you say, oh, I have a headache, the moment you say, I have, one, you've made it real, and two, you've locked it into your body. Okay. And now the shift there, and like I said earlier, it's like your body feels, you, the being, sense. So if you were to shift that, Gabriela, and just shift it a bit and go, okay, wow, I've been aware. So if something comes up and you guys have an intensity in your hair, like, whoa, something's intense, like, wow, right? And just acknowledge that you're aware of the energy. So to say, wow, I've been aware of a lot of tiredness and intensity, you know, what is that? And it's like the willingness to keep your awareness with it, like your body is gifting you the awareness. But if you allow yourself to kind of keep it here and go, wow, that's intense. You know, I sometimes notice it when it comes around, I'm in a place and it's about that 4 or 5 p.m. where most people are getting out of work. I was like, wow, I'm ready for a nap. I'm all, oh, several questions there. The very first one, and I'll ask Gabriela in a second, but you become aware of everything around you. Your body's going to be aware of it. So everywhere you've locked it in, Gabriela, to your body already, everywhere that any of you have locked in what you've been aware of within your body, as if it was yours, and it's not changing, ask yourself. So Gabriela, truth, does that belong to you? Or the other question I like to ask, what percentage of that belongs to you? And so Gabriela, I don't know if you can type in, but for all of you guys, you know, it's such an incredible, Paola, oh, thank you, Paola, go ahead. Paola's translating Spanish. But I think, did you raise your hand unintentionally?
Yes, I have a question in Spanish, but maybe you can finish with Gabriela and then I ask you.
Perfect. Let me finish with Gabriela. So Gabriela, can you type? So when I ask you truth, does that belong to you? Do you get a yes or a no? And she's not answering. Anybody else ask themselves that question with anything that was up?
She's in the Spanish. She's in the Spanish, and she said that she can't answer, but it doesn't belong to her. Okay.
Okay, cool. So this is huge. I know it sounds like you're like, wait a moment, I've been having this for days. What do you mean it doesn't belong to me? So are you willing to acknowledge that your body is aware? It's like, thank you, body. You've been aware of the intensity. Who knows how far and wide? You can ask it. Is it here in our home? I mean, how aware are you guys and how far out do you perceive the world? So now, Gabriela, are you just willing to just maybe put your hands on your body? It's like, wow, thank you, body. You are so aware. Thank you. And, you know, for me, again, you know, these moments you'll have where you realize, like right now, Gabriela has an awareness, like I have been perceiving this intensity and I made it mine. And now when she asked, it wasn't her. So I've had many moments where I've had that, right? Truth, does that belong to me? No, weird. Feels like it did. Okay. But one of the moments I had that changed it in a way that I thought, wow, body, what else are you capable of? I was coming down, I was out in the Colorado mountains, you know, running, hiking, and I was coming down, almost finished with my run, you know, having a little extra pounds on me, you know, enjoying the run. And I came down the hill and I stepped down and whoa, my back, like, people, I've known a lot of people to have severe back pain. And in that moment, there was a sharp shock in my back that I had to stop. And I thought, and I didn't have far to go, but in that moment was, wait a moment. I don't know if I can make it down the hill. Like quickly, my head went, I don't know if I can make it down the hill. I'm going to have to cancel everything I have tomorrow. I need some drugs. And then I'm all, whoa. I stopped myself and I reminded myself, wait, I have some tools. And so I asked that question because, again, the pain was intense. It felt so real. It was my body, but I asked the question, so truth, does this belong to me? And guess what I got? No. It made no sense. What do you mean it doesn't belong to me? All right, but I now know that I can trust that. No, it doesn't belong to me, but what the fuck? It's intense, right? So that intensity was still there, but I knew it didn't belong to me. So then I went to other tools. Now, I asked the question, it doesn't belong to me, but I was still making it real. So this is where sometimes if you've already made it real, it might still be there. So one of the tools that, or exercises that I've done, and it came from something Dr. Dane said many years ago, and I may have changed it a bit, but it just gives me so much, it has created change for me. So I went to kind of what that intensity was. And so somewhat visualizing it, but you notice when you like stub your toe, you go to contraction and it's this solid sense of nothing's moving. It's solid. That's what pain's like. Nothing's moving, something solid. So I went to that intensity. I just imagined, okay, that dark, solid, whatever it was. And I found the smallest speck of space, any little light crack that I could find in it. And I got that. And then I just stretched it, and then stretched all the space that I could stretch. And then it was gone. It disappeared like that. And I thought, what the heck? And then I was like so amazed because I'm all, these tools work. It's amazing. I went down the hill and I thought I was going to just notice what my day was going to be like. I had already concluded what my day was going to be like. And then it changed. I'm all, fuck, that's amazing. And I remember I was so excited. I went to the next class. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, was there. And I was just so happy to tell him how amazing the tools work and, all of this. And then he asked me a question that changed my reality even more. And he said, truth, did you step on one of those rocks where someone had left pain? And I was like, doesn't make sense, but it's super light. And when something is light, it's true. And I was like, yes. He's duh, you're aware, like, hello. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I stepped somewhere. I was aware of someone leaving their pain, and it's not cognitive. And then I perceived it. I was aware of it. And guess what? Made it mine. So how many of you have intensities with your bodies that aren't yours, that you're aware of them? Either wherever you sat, maybe the person next to you, down the street. I mean, this is where if we didn't judge our bodies and we actually were willing to uncover the gifts and the power of our bodies, you might start to acknowledge that your body is gifting you so many awarenesses and that you are aware. It's not a wrongness. We just haven't been given the tools to explore that even more. So for that one experience for me, I thought, whoa, literally anything that shows up with my body, it's kind of like, okay, what's going on? What is this body? Because I know my body's not out to get me. It's not out to seek revenge. It really isn't. It's like, oh, sweet body, sweet body. Yeah. So I hope that story contributes to, for you to begin to ask and explore. It's like, wow, body, what are you aware of? What am I aware of? Body, what did I make so real? Puck and pod. You guys have the clearing statement, use it. It's like anywhere I made that real. Anywhere that I have a basis that I need to suffer my body. You know, how many of you have bought in the story that you have to suffer your body? Yeah. Awesome. Gabriela's all, yep, I'm now aware of it's a lot of the people that I'm working with that are around me. So Gabriela, did the intensity now, did it change for you? Did it change completely? Is there still something there? Because, you know, that might be part of it. And there may be more to explore, but it sounds like she has an awareness. And when you're aware that it's not yours, there's a space like, oh, here I am again. There's that lightness. She said it changed. Awesome. Super, super awesome. All the people in the gym. Yeah. If you're going to the gym, be aware. Yep. What? Amazing. Awesome. There's a question now. Paola, go ahead. And I'm going to get my charger.
Okay, so we have a question. How can I better perceive what my body needs to be and receive, and how can I allow my body to be that space to manifest opportunities and wealth? Sometimes
Wow.
I feel
Go ahead. Yes.
sometimes I feel like the opportunity comes and my body is like stressed and my mind blocks. I don't think anyone else happened that ever.
So can you say that last part one more time? Let me hold on a second.
Yes, she feels like sometimes she has an opportunity and she is stressed, and the mind came to that place and she blocks.
Okay. So that's a good one.
Wait, let me translate because I read it.
Perfect. And there's so many different parts to that. So let's. So we have a mini class. This is like a mini class. You were all smart to come in. Thank you. And what a gift. I mean, what would it take for the entire world to have these tools and never buy them? You know, never buy any solidity as real. I mean, wow. So that's, yeah, tools of access consciousness. So, um, let me see, because there were so many parts to her question. And also, Paola, if you can ask, if they have a question and can type it out, sometimes if it's typed out, I can refer to different parts of it, but let me see. So the first one is like, you know, how to begin to have that space for your body. One is, I would invite you guys, the 5 elements of intimacy, they're written in the chat. I know new people added, so maybe we'll put them in again. Explore that. Start to ask yourself, if I was having true allowance with me and my body, what would that look like? Explore it for the day, explore it for the week, because you're going to explore what that looks like for you. I've shared a couple stories of these ahas for me, but explore it for yourself. What does allowance look like for you to have that allowance with your body? So then you'll be in your day, something will come up, and you have that allowance. So I would invite you guys, that's going to give you awarenesses of where you're at with your body now, and invite you to explore perhaps more of that space of having that with you and your body. But the thing she said is that, how do I begin to listen to my body or hear kind of whatever it's letting me know? That's gonna be practice, and start with some of those smaller things. And start to notice where you didn't listen. Sometimes this is easier. So how many of you, before you leave the house, you notice that umbrella in the corner and you're like, oh, it's not gonna rain? Cassie's all yes, right? It's like, and you don't take it and then it rains and you're like, fuck, I knew it, right? Exactly. Or how many of you have ever been driving and then all of a sudden like, oh, well, I'm going to get off here. It's like, oh, I didn't mean to get off here. This was the wrong exit. And then you found out there was an accident up ahead. You know, you got to start to acknowledge where your body is gifting you information. You know, those moments where, you know, there's a big party and then you're not feeling well, or you don't go. And then it turned out it wasn't really a good party to go to. Whatever it is for you, you begin to acknowledge, okay, sweet body, you're letting me know something. So that is one, but there's something else that you said, and you said, you know, there's opportunities that come up. Now, as you begin to ask, I'm trying to see how to best place this in the midst of this Zoom. And I'm just going to gift it to you and we'll see if how it applies in this question. And maybe you guys are all asking for this as well. I'm going to trust that. Okay. So there's opportunity and possibility. So all of us are asking for something in our lives, whatever this is, whether you're asking for it cognitively or not, there is an ask in your world. So, if you're asking for more money, if you're asking for a relationship, if you're asking, whatever that might be that you're asking in your world, things are going to show up. So when things show up, all of a sudden it's like, oh yes, that's what I'm asking for. I got asked that on a date. I'm going to go on the date. That must be what I'm asking for showing up. That's a conclusion. So oftentimes opportunities show up that may match what you think it is that you're asking for showing up. But you got to ask, is this an opportunity or a possibility? Because the possibility will always take you more to what you're asking for. So that would be the first thing, is like ask, okay, and when things show up, because then I think you said you go to your head or you don't choose it or take action on it. So you might be aware that it actually was not the possibility. It might not have been the thing. So everywhere you're judging you for not taking the opportunities where you actually may have been aware that that wasn't the thing at the moment, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, spaces, and beyonds. Now, the other thing is, and here's the power of our body, it's super aware, right? Super aware body. So if you take anything out of this call and you posted reminders, my body's aware. What are you aware of, body? All day is going to contribute because you're going to start to notice how much we make ours that isn't. So the other things, because our bodies are so powerful and we are so aware, how many of you are invited to something and you quickly say yes, or you think you should, and you are more aware of what the other person would like than what you would like? And I have Vera nodding her head. Yep, all the time. I was one of those. I was a yes girl. Yes, yes, yes. Never a true question. It seemed light and expansive. It was like, of course. So I started to gift myself that little pause. And I remember I had someone invite me to be part of a committee. And I was like, of course. And then I caught myself, wait, when do you need a response? And they said, oh, in a couple of days. Okay, let me get back to you. And I started to allow myself a little window because I noticed that I was always quickly going to what I thought was what I was aware of. And so I started to give myself a pause. So I called a friend. I'm like, can you ask me a couple questions? And the first question she asked me, how much of this energy of yes is yours or hers, of what she's aware of having you in that committee will create? And I was like, wow, hers. Okay, cool. Then I could begin to have the space. What am I aware of? Will this actually work for me? Is this something that I can actually contribute to right now, or would, be part of what I'm asking for? So it was a no. So I called her back, almost right away, I think. And I said, you know what? I really kind of looked at my schedule, and as much as I would like to contribute, committing to joining for the full time on this committee is not going to work right now. But if there's ever a particular event that I can be at and contribute, I would be happy to. And she was like, happy, great, never called me back for any of that. But this is where I acknowledged, wow, body, so aware of what other people need, what other people want, what their desires are. Now, none of you have gone on dates or taken anyone home where you thought it was yours and it wasn't yours, right? Of course I want to have sex. Yeah, wait a moment, mine or theirs? So then you walk yourself off to another room, put yourself in a little bubble and go, truth, body, is this really what would be fun for us? Would it be fun? Would it be easy? Would they be grateful in the morning? So forth. There's way more questions, but yes, no, wow, I was aware of them and not me. Cool. No, thank you. So also acknowledging you are aware of other people the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. So if it's not light and if it's not expansive, it may not be yours. Reading your mind, Vera. And again, if we don't make ourselves wrong for any of what we've chosen, begin to allow yourself to have the awareness. Oh, that's what that was. I actually knew it was a no, but I thought it was a yes. I went with that, so forth. So I hope that is contributing. And Oris writes, body or intuition? And I would say, Oris, I would say I would invite you to go to more to your knowing. Like sometimes we wait for that gut reaction, and yet your knowing is so much quicker. But yes, you're welcome, Anna. You are so welcome. Thank you, Kiran. If you do not judge you, your body will tell you when to take action. Yes. I'm going to put that as a reminder for myself. And you'll know. It's like your body will gift you that, but you'll also know. You'll know. And if anything is up in your body right now, if you find yourself judging it, like, what if you just gave yourself a couple minutes a day or maybe 30 or more and allowed yourself to be present? I got a body. Wow, I got some legs, I got some toes. Wow. And oh, do I have a butt? Oh, yeah. You know, like where can you celebrate all the parts of you? And yep, this little puffy little thing that comes out of the jeans, I got that too. So if we didn't judge any of it, it's like, all right, where can we actually enjoy it? It's like, imagine a little kid coming up to you and it just wants to play with you. You're like, get away, you know, you're too chubby. Look at your hair is all messy. Like, you know, go change, your clothes don't match, you know. You imagine like a little kid going, I just want to play. And you judge it and tell her to get away until it's all perfect and correct. According to who? So what if it could be a little different? It's like, all right, we got a little extra love handles. Who would like to come hold on to those? You know, it's like, yeah, what would it take to enjoy our bodies way, way more? Anna says, I noticed I have been judging my body so much after an accident I had last year. Yeah. So what would it take, Anna? Like, what new questions can you ask? What was the gift there? You know, and see if this helps too. I fell off. I own, or they own me, 2 horses. One of my first falls, I felt like he tossed me off, right? So get off. I had such an incredible gift because one, I caught myself suffering. You know, I don't tend to suffer very much. And I found myself climbing the stairs in pain, right? And I stopped midway and I'm all, oh my God, I'm suffering. I'm suffering the pain. And I realized I had not asked a single question. So from that moment, as I'm struggling getting up the stairs, I was like, how does it get any better than this? I started to invite questions about, okay, what else is possible? But I started to ask a question. So suffering is where you think there's nothing, you're not asking anything. You're just in the pain, in the suffering. So then I asked Mr. Gary Douglas, I told him about the fall and he's all, oh, what? And then he corrected me. Who were you thinking of when you were on the horse? I was like, because you got to ride that horse as if he was your only lover. And I thought, oh, so the gift of that fall, my horse was letting me know, Mr. Jake, his name is Jake. Jake was letting me know, hey, you're not here with me, get off. I wasn't present. So guess what? I ride my horses very different now. I find myself off in La La Land. I'm here I am. My body's on you. We're here. I'm here with you. You're here with me, right? So what gift was your accident that you haven't been willing to receive because you're judging your body? So everything that is and everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pack, all 9 shorts, boys, pro-rad, spaces, and beyonds. Yeah, and how much do all of us use judgment to continue to clobber ourselves that doesn't allow us to even be aware of what might change whatever's going on? Yeah, okay. I can see you, Anna. So whatever that's bringing up, just allow it to melt away, whatever that is. And all the judgment your body's now releasing. Because if you find yourself crying or tearing up, ask yourself, okay, is this part of what's just being released from my body? Yeah. Cool. And just keep letting that unravel. And keep asking, okay, like Puck and Pot, all the judgment you've solidified and made real, all the wrongness to your body, to you, Puck and Pot, and all the projections of other people that they might have on you for that accident too. And now begin to ask, if I wasn't judging me or my body, what can I be aware of here? And what can I choose different? And what can I change? And see what opens up there. Cool. Oh, awesome. And all the bases we have of judgment that seems so real. I was just talking to a friend going, man, it's coming up for me as well. And I'm going, wow, has that always been there? Like, how much does judgment still have this hold on us as if it's real? And it's not. Judgment, if you haven't heard, latest bulletin, it's not real. It's not real. It's a point of view. It's not real. I mean, notice how light it is. Truth. Is judgment real? Yes or no? Nope. So if you're judging yourself, ask yourself, what do I love about this? All right. And I hope that contributes and changes something there for you. Cool. Okay. Cassie, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I am seeing that we're out of time and I want to honor you, Sylvia. My question, I don't know if it can be quick, but we know you're coming to Canada for 3-day body class at Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm so excited. And me and Kieran and Jackie.
I just got to stop you guys there. Regina, really? I'm just going to say vagina. I think
Vagina.
whoever in Regina really probably meant to say vagina, and they put an R to just correct everybody to be more proper, but I say vagina. I'm going to vagina. Just kidding. I hope it doesn't.
Welcome to my vagina.
I'm going to Cassie's vagina.
Yes.
Oh, Jackie's, yeah.
Jackie's vagina. Yeah, we're all going to Jackie's vagina. But you said something earlier about locking it. You're like, you already locked it into your body. Can you talk, if you have a time, just a little nibbit of how the body processes actually unlock stuff from our bodies?
Yeah. So in the 3-day body class, there is a manual with 61 body processes. And there's some new ones in there. Yay. And it's, you say how. So one of the gifts, one of the many gifts of the body process is that it's not a thing of figuring out. It's the willingness to begin to explore this space of being in communion with your body, right? So the willingness to ask questions. So you begin to trade, these body processes, and you're not asking the person, which one of all these do you think you want that will change what you think is going on with your body? No, you ask the body, what of these processes will contribute to what you are asking for right now? Will gift you and me, because as you gift a body process, you also receive, right? And then it's this gift of space, of allowing what your body knows, what their body knows, to begin to show up and unlock all what's not true. Because it's like we have energies in our bodies. Our bodies actually know how to heal. They know that. We haven't allowed that. So these begin to access that. So then things begin to change that you may perhaps have been trying to change for a long time and haven't been able to. So there begins to be this opening of the space. I call it like this softness, like this, I actually just facilitated 3 days in Guadalajara, Mexico. And there's those moments of that silence where people are gifting and receiving. It's like, oh, that relaxation and peace with our bodies, it is available. It really, really is. And thank you, Tonita. She says, who's going to Global Bars this weekend? I am. And that class is, if you haven't taken a bars class, I invite you to. And if you have, check it out online or live. But the gift of this invitation to receive and unlock, because that's what the bars do as well. You know, you get to unlock all the lies that you have bought and have been carrying around locked into your body. So, you know, are you asking for more space, more ease? Would you like to actually have more of this communion with your body, where you can have this new awareness of what it's asking of you, what it's contributing to you? So with all of that said, I hope that contributes then, Cassie. Thank you. And if you guys are coming out here in Mexico City, let me know. I will have some space, so I'm offering some sessions. There's something incredible called the abuse hold. For many of us, we've locked in abuse in our bodies. Grace will be doing an abuse hold class in Houston on December 6th. That will be posted soon. I don't know if it's posted already, but that's an incredible class. And then you can gift the sessions after you take the class. So I'll be in Mexico City. There is a prereq of listening to some recordings, but if you have that, I will be out here, and you're all invited after Global Bars. I'm here in Mexico City, going to facilitate Right Voice for You. Another incredible class that invites you to unlock, again, in a different way, the judgments that you've made so real about what people are going to say or think of you, so you can allow yourself to be more present in the world. So you can allow the gift of you to show up in a way that maybe you didn't think was possible, and actually not care a shit of what people say, because judgments aren't real. You get to show up and have a good time, and then allow yourself to receive way, way more. So that'll be Right Voice for You. And for those of you that have a foundation, one more invitation, and that's really going beyond this reality, the 9 Tranny series. That starts at the end of this month, that we have a 9 Tranny series. So, and if you don't know about the 9 Trannies, we'll fill you in way, way more. But all of that just to let you know, you guys are invited to so much. And whether it's with me or anybody that's, you know, inviting you to have more of you, empowering you to know that you know, empowering you to know that your body's not wrong, you're not wrong, and what gift and power do we truly have. So I hope you take these 5 elements of intimacy and explore and play with those and gift yourself way more of that. And I would love all your bodies to be in Regina, and come explore and have some fun out there and somewhere else perhaps as well. But all of that. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Jackie, Kiran. Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you
So
so much,
great.
Sylvia.
And Michelle, who jumped on, as ill as she was, to still be online. Thank you. Contributions to all of you in your bodies. May you enjoy your body tonight in as many ways as you can. Yes, that is what I meant. And good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Ciao.